Hi there, I'm Kathleen Jasper, and today we're talking about email etiquette, specifically how to communicate effectively when you are emailing your principal or someone in the administration or even just your colleagues. There are some do's and don'ts I want to go over with you. Let's get started. All right, so you may be starting this video and thinking, I know how to write an email. I don't need a video telling me how to write an email. Well, I'm going to say that many of you do need a video to show you how to write an email. Now, the reason why I say this is because I get a lot of email correspondence from people. And when it's to me, it's fine because I'm just a person online that you might be emailing. But I want to make sure you're not making some mistakes or some of these kind of email faux pas when you're emailing your principal, when you're looking for leadership opportunities, when you're emailing downtown. I want to make sure that I help you come off as very professional, very direct, and very to the point. Remember, your principal, your superintendent, your district leadership, whomever you are emailing, they are very busy. And so a long-winded email, first off, is out of the question, needs to be short and to the point. And there are a few things you're going to want to avoid in your email. So let's go over to a sample email and we'll break this down a little bit. Now, I made this email up. This is not anybody's email to me. I want to make that clear. But it is an email that mirrors many of the types of emails I used to get when I was an assistant principal, and it mirrors a few of the emails that I get now, all right? And so I just want to be clear, I made this up, but it is a model of what I've seen over the years, okay? All right, so let's take a look. Hi, Dr. Jasper. This year has been amazing. I am having so many awesome experiences with our students and fellow teachers. That's why I'm emailing you today. I hope you don't mind, but I am super interested in being department head next year and would love a chance to use my experience in that leadership position. I know Mr. Smith has been department head for several years, but I just think the teachers in the department probably want to change. I completely understand if you feel I'm not ready. However, I am just putting myself out there to try new things. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy woman. Have a great day, Ms. Reese. And then P.S. I'm loving the new posters in the math wing. As department head, I hope to do more things like that. All right, so what stands out to you first? Probably the abundance of exclamation points. I am going to tell you right now, cut all your exclamation points out of your email correspondence. And I understand that this is a difficult thing to do. We use exclamation points to kind of soften the blow or be a little bit informal or to not be as direct or in your face. And it has become a terrible habit. I see it mainly from women, but I do see some of it from men. And to me, it screams, I am not confident in coming to you directly, so I'm going to soften the blow with a bunch of exclamation points. So my advice to you is to, when you proof your email, eliminate all exclamation points. They make you sound not confident enough to be writing the email. Okay. Now I know that's harsh. I know many of you love the exclamation point, and you may even say to me, well, Kathleen, I see your response online and you use exclamation points. You're right. I do. When someone on our YouTube channel or someone in the comments of a Facebook post or something says, I passed my test, or I love your channel, I might go, thank you, exclamation point, or good job, exclamation point. But that's on a more conversational situation, and it's online, and it's motivating. I'm trying to say good job. And in that case, an exclamation point is warranted because I'm yelling, good job, like I am from the sidelines, right? But in this case, we are working on our email correspondence with a principal, so we do not ever want to use exclamation points. Okay, so just say no to exclamation points. It is going to be hard because you're going to feel like you're being too direct, and it's going to feel mean. In fact, I remember when I was a new assistant principal, I was talking to some other assistant principals at a meeting. We all would go downtown for a big assistant principal meeting, and there were a couple of female assistant principals there with me who were young like I was. I was only about 33 at the time, or 34 at the time. And we were talking about, sometimes it's hard to tell teachers what to do when they're a little older than you are and things like that. We were just, just kind of talking like colleagues. And one of the assistant principals said, well, I use a lot of exclamation points and smiley faces when I'm asking them to do things because it kind of softens the blow a little bit. And I thought to myself right then and there, I wasn't going to do that because I don't want it to soften the blow. I'm giving a directive. I'm giving you something to do. So a smiley face or an exclamation point is not appropriate in that situation. So instead of saying, hey, Mr. Jones, do you think you could stand by your door during the bell change? Smiley face, exclamation point. Instead, I would just email, good afternoon, Mr. Jones. Please be sure you are by your door at the change of classes. Thank you very much. And have a good day. That's it. I wouldn't put in any exclamation points, no smiley faces. I'm not being impolite. I am just being direct. It's okay to be direct. And some of you have even emailed me asking me, how can I be more direct? Well, this is how you do it. Get rid of all of the exclamation points immediately in your communication. Try it. It'll be difficult, but it's going to be much, much better. Okay. All right. Now, so we have all these exclamation points. We're going to get rid of them. We also have a lot of fluff in the beginning. This year has been amazing. I'm having so many awesome experiences. Yada, yada, yada. Look, the principal is busy. Get to the point. The first sentence should say why you're emailing. Then you have this, that's why I'm emailing you today. It's too much of a setup. Just get in there and say what you want. I'm going to say this to the ladies out there. A man would probably never write this email. A man would just go, this is what I want. Talk to you later. End of story. Hit send. Goodbye. And women, for some reason, not all women, I don't want to generalize, but in a lot of ways, women's correspondence on email, we try not to be as direct. Be direct, ladies. In the first sentence, you should be telling this principal what you want. Say what you want. Ask for what you want, because going around the world to say what you want, you're not going to get it. Just go for it. Ask for it. Whether that's a raise, whether that's a different position, whatever it is, go straight to it. Do not beat around the bush. You have every right to ask for a promotion, for a raise, or whatever else. And to the men, you do too. Don't beat around the bush. Many of you just go right to it anyways, because you've been kind of brought up that way. Women have been taught to be a little more reserved, a little more polite. There's nothing impolite with asking for what you are entitled to, what you want, or what you believe you can do. So, end of story. Get to it in the first line. Then the other word that needs to go the way of the dodo, just like the exclamation point, is the word just. Let's see here, Mr. Smith, but I just think, stop. I just think screams, I don't know, I'm not confident right now. I'm just going to write this. I'm really afraid to hit send. Get rid of just. Proof all your emails to take out just. Here's an example. I used to always email, just checking in to see how things are going. Just writing this email to blah, blah, blah. No. Instead, I would say, good morning. Checking in to see how things are going. Let me know if you need anything. Period. Send. Not just checking in. Checking in. These little adjustments that you use in your communication will help you come off as more confident, more in control, and just, more direct and to the point. And so get rid of just and try to do it in your verbal communication as well. And I'm going to say it again. I'm generalizing here, but sometimes women use that word just a lot to soften the blow of being too direct. Again, ladies, be direct. Say what you want to say. And, they can decide, whoever is in charge can decide whether you get it or not. But be direct, okay? So get rid of that just. And I see it from men too. I just see some of these things from women. I work in education and it's a woman-dominated field. So, that may be another reason why I see this, but I'm trying to be diplomatic here. Ladies, get rid of the word just, all right? Now, again, it's kind of too much going on before we get to the point. Then we have here, I would love to have a chance to use my experience in that leadership position. Well, nowhere in this email did I talk about the experience. I just say, oh, I'd love to use my experience. This email would be better served if I told you the experience I have and when I can apply it and how I would apply it. All right, so it's kind of not getting to the point of what you're asking for, and it's leaving out important information that would help the principal consider you for this leadership position. It also mentions Mr. Smith. I know Mr. Smith has been in there for a while, but I just think people need a change. Take Mr. Smith out of this. Don't talk about anybody else except for you. This is not about Mr. Smith. You want a chance to be department head, and you, according to what you think, have a right to throw your hat in the game. So do it. Don't say I'm throwing my hat in the game either, but I'm saying figuratively to you. You have a right to throw your hat in the ring, I should say. Hat in the ring, not hat in the game. So take out Mr. Smith, only talk about you. That's very, very important because we don't want to throw anybody under the bus accidentally. And we want to keep things to us. I will tell you from my own experiences, and you might know this about me, that I'm a little long-winded. The fewer words I say, the better. And the fewer people I pull into my conversation, the better. I've learned that over the years. So we want to keep everybody's name out of your mouth, okay? Don't talk about Mr. Smith. Just talk about you, all right? And then we have this PS. I'm loving the new posters. That's nice, but it's fluff, and I'm busy, and I don't have time for that if I'm the principal. So, and this have a great day, exclamation point. Again, take them all out. Remove all exclamation points, all right? Let's take a look at what the email might look like if we were to revise it based on the advice I just gave you. Good morning, Dr. Jasper. So not hi, good morning, good afternoon, something like that, okay? Or you could just put Dr. Jasper, comma, all right? I am interested in applying for the department head position for next year. Boom, first sentence, I go right to it. Period, end of story, no exclamation point. I know what I want, and I'm telling you what I want, all right? First sentence. Sometimes the principal, and I know a bunch of principals like this, and I used to do this too, first 3 sentences is all I read. That's all I read. I didn't have time to read anymore. Sometimes the principals aren't even reading their emails until they go home that night because they're so busy throughout the day. So keep it short and sweet. I am interested in applying for the department head position for next year. Now here's where my experience comes in. Direct. Over the last 2 years, I've been working on my master's degree in educational leadership. I have also led professional development, organized data chats, and participated in the textbook adoption. Boom, boom, boom. 3 things that I've done that make me qualified to go for this department head position. I would like more leadership opportunities that will help me reach my goal of becoming an assistant principal. So not only did I tell you what I want, I told you what I've done to kind of be in the running or be a viable candidate to be considered. But then I add one more layer and I say that this is something I'd like to do because I want to be an assistant principal. Now the principal knows, if Dr. Jasper is your principal, now the principal knows that you're trying to be an assistant principal. And it's straight into the point. So now when Dr. Jasper is putting together committees, maybe you're not right for the department head position, but maybe there's a testing coordinator position or there's something else going on that this principal needs your help with. She might grab you for that because now she knows you want to be an assistant principal. If we go back to this one here, did we say we want to be an assistant principal here? No. And this person maybe does want to be an assistant principal, but maybe is too afraid to put it out there. No, put it out there. That's what I want. I want to become an assistant principal, and I want more opportunities to do so. And then here it is. I appreciate your consideration. Now, in this email here, when she said, P.S. I'm loving the new posters. As department head, I hope to do more things like that. Well, we're already almost assuming we're getting the department head position, and it's a little bit inappropriate. This here, I appreciate your consideration, is kind of like, it shows me that, let's say I'm writing this email. I know my role. I am a teacher. You are my leader. You are my principal. I would really like for you to consider me for this position. It's humble. It shows humility. I appreciate your consideration. But this email is also direct and strong. And so there's like two things going on here. The email is strong and direct, but also shows humility. So this would be a much better email to the principal or to district leadership or whatever. Here are a couple things that this email has. First thing, the first line, I am interested in applying for the department head position for next year. Boom. That's it. You got to get it in on the first line. People are busy and they don't want you to beat around the bush. Okay. I'm glad you had an awesome year with your kids. I'm glad that you're doing a bunch of cool activities. I've seen it. I'm busy. I'm going through my emails. I have 200 of them. I don't need a whole big spiel on that. All right. Tell me what you want. And it does in this email. And then the next thing is, why should you get that? Well, because I've done X, Y, and Z. So over the last 2 years, Masters in Ed Leadership, and I've worked on these committees and all of that. And then finally, my overall goal and where I want to go in terms of upward mobility. Boom, I want to become an assistant principal. And then a little line of humility here. I appreciate your consideration. All right. That's a much better email. So a couple things we want to make sure we do before we wrap up. Number one, stop with the exclamation points. Stop, stop, stop. Take them out. Cross them out, delete all of it. The other word you're going to take out is just. Take out the word just. When you start to think about it, you will realize how much you use it. Take it out, take it out, take it out. And then we want to be more direct. And those of you who are uncomfortable with being direct, start to get uncomfortable. Try to be more direct. I know it can be scary to put yourself out there, but if you got this email here, would you be like, oh, this person's too direct? She's mean. I don't like her. No, you wouldn't. You would be like, this person knows what she wants. I'm going to consider her either for the department head position or for another leadership position. Direct to the point. This shows leadership. This shows decisiveness. This shows I know what I want and I'm willing to put myself out there to get it. So hopefully you got a little something out of that. I know that first email might have been a little bit of an exaggeration, but I'm sure many of you, both male and female, can attest to the fact that you might use a few too many exclamation points or the word just, or you may beat around the bush before going directly to what you want. I say be direct, skip the exclamation points, and remove that word just from your vocabulary. Thank you so much for watching today. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Remember, I love doing videos about the profession of teaching. So if you have comments on things like this and you have questions, put them in the comments below and I'd be happy to do more videos in this area. Thank you so much for watching today. Consider subscribing and letting your colleagues know we're here. Have a great day.